Another big weekend for us, and playing at USC is going to be tough. As I've said many times before, we've been in that position, and those are the kinds of games that you wanted to try and you want to try and win when you're at home. So we've got our hands full, and we just barely eked it out here at our place. So we've got to be focused on that game, even though everybody's talking about there's only four games left in the season. We're very much focused on one game at a time. So everybody's healthy, it feels like, and then after watching the tape of the Washington game, I thought I'd mention this. We looked tired. It certainly looked like a turnaround time issue, because we really didn't look like we played with the kind of energy that we normally play with. So with that, why don't I open it up for questions?
He's only got a couple buckets the last couple of games. What are you seeing from him right now?
I think what we're seeing is we play really well when he has more than a couple of buckets in the last couple of games. So we need to help him get on track. But as a freshman and playing as much as he is, he's just got to get used to playing more games than he's ever played in his high school seasons. And actually, I shouldn't say more games, more intense games. It's a lot of basketball now with practice and games here at the end of the season. But he's been practicing really well. His energy level's up, so that's good. We just have to put him in some positions where he can get more done.
Watching the Washington film, did you see anything new defensively? Notice anything?
I did, but I think I attribute it more to being fatigued. I thought, like I said, I don't know if I even mentioned this after the game, but our hedges looked like they were mediocre after I watched the tape. We looked a step slow getting the loose balls, and we didn't rebound like we have been rebounding this season. So defensively, we could obviously have played better, but I'm willing to chalk it up to fatigue.
Who are the guys on your team who step forward as leaders when things aren't going right?
Angus is always one who's right there front and center. Roberto, of course, our two seniors. Who's done a real good job of it has been Devon Collier. This being his fourth year here, he's very good at it. And of the young players, both Hallis Cook and Malcolm DeVivier show a lot of leadership by example and also at practice.
And the three seniors that you mentioned, are those guys more vocal or by example?
Both. Angus has been more by example until this year. He was very vocal this year, and I think that really started last year when he was out with that injury. He could only be vocal, so his being vocal is a lot better this year. Both Roberto and Devon are vocal guys, but they're more give me the ball, let me fix it guys. You know what I mean? They're save the day guys.
Are you concerned about being tired and the fatigue?
No. You know what? So I look back at the other games when we played on late Thursday night and then Saturday afternoon, and we played almost the same each game. And what I like about us is when we haven't played well, we always bounce back and play well the next game. So I've looked at all of that. So I'm not concerned with being fatigued here at the end of the season. I think there's a benefit to having 2 days off as opposed to 1 day off, especially when you're playing games that are this intense.
And then as you go forward to the tournament, is that going to be a problem?
No, because that's even. See, everybody only gets a day. The way the TV schedule works out, some guys get 2 days off and other guys gets 1 day off, and we found whenever we've been the team with 1 day off, it's just been, and we played a team with 2 days off, it's been a hard game for us fatigue wise.
Beyond the X's and O's, when you're in a little bit of a downswing like you are right now, how much do you kind of let the guys themselves work and talk their way through it?
That's a timely question, because after the game I told them to really kind of get together and work themselves out of it. And then I saw the film, and then I realized that we looked fatigued. We didn't look like we were sort of moving away from our game plan. We didn't look like we were moving apart as a team. We just looked beat. It's my job to get these guys rallied up and understand, look, we have 4 more games to go. The more we win, the more we can be in the conversation. So I think everybody's has that kind of excitement in mind. There's no need to ring any alarm bells. I want to make sure that we're refocused because we are going on the road, and it's been hard to win on the road, but we can do it.
And your guys have had a couple days off. What are you hoping to see these next 2 days?
I want to see us get our pep in our step, which we won't be a problem. I know I'm going to see that, and then I want to work on our execution of what we need to do on Thursday specifically. Let's not worry about Sunday. Let's just focus on Thursday and get Thursday out of the way, and then we'll worry about Sunday.
Angus said after the Washington game that he thought they were probably going to address it maybe before practice, address the game. Did you see that from any of the players?
I didn't
address the performance before the first practice after the Sunday game.
Yeah, that'll be today.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So by rule, we had to take off on those days where we play 3 games in our week. We have to take off Sunday and Monday. Otherwise, we would have practiced yesterday. So today will be our first day of practice.
Coach, looking at USC, does that 1-point win kind of give them confidence going into this one? Do you think?
Give us or give them?
Give them
I would be confident if I were them. Yeah, and I would be leery if I was us. But we're also 2 different teams from that game, and I think we didn't play well against Washington, but we just won a game right before then. And we played really well coming up to that game. I just feel like we are in a position where we know what we need to do, and we're just going to be focused on us, and we're assuming that they're going to be pumped up to beat us. So we've got to come with our best game.
I know Arabi hasn't scored double digits in like 5 games. Are you concerned about him as an offensive?
Yeah, I think you always have to be concerned about a guy who's that big and can get position in the post, because you just absolutely can't block his shot. And if he gets anywhere close to the basket, he's got a really nice touch. So, like I said, we're going to be focused on our game plan, which is to play way better defense than we did on Saturday, and make sure we're clicking on offense so that we can get points up on the board. If we can get points up on the board, our defense will be good enough.
Coach, you guys are 2 different teams now, but what's your biggest takeaway? Whether it's about them from that 1-point win or about you guys, what's your biggest takeaway from that?
From the last game? Well, the last game was just a great toughness win. I thought that I think we had 18 or 19 offensive rebounds in that game, and that's a lot. And also, what we didn't do was we probably missed 10 or 15 foul shots in that game. So, if we can hit the boards like we did and make our foul shots, I like where we are based on the last game.
On the last road swing, definitely some defensive struggles. What were kind of some of the problems from that road swing that you noticed, and was it anything different or new? And what kind of specifically are you going to focus on, I guess, defensively against USC?
The last road swing. The last road swing was Arizona State. Well, if you look closely, the only game where we really sort of let ourselves down was the Arizona game. The Oregon game, they were hot at the beginning, and we kept it even and cut it to 2. So it's more consistency. And the Arizona State game, we lost that game in overtime. So, we just have to play solid D for 40 minutes. I know it sounds cliche-ish, and I hate to be cliche-ish, but I think we can score enough points to win games. We've got to get our defense back to where we were when we were, the way it is when we're at home normally, when we're beating teams.
What kind of resiliency have you seen from your group in the last couple of weeks and kind of dealing with losses?
Yeah, it's been good because, as I look at it, we really have been able to bounce back from losses. And I know it's been at home, but then again, we did win up at Washington State, and it feels like that was forever ago. But we were able to kind of put together a game on the road, and we're going to do that again when we're down in L.A. But our resiliency, our frame of mind, it's been really good. I mean, it does not feel like it's the end of February. I mean, this in years past, it's been more, let's focus on getting to the tournament and doing what we can in the tournament, whereas now it's like, we got to still win games because it's going to matter. And that makes the season go by much quicker. And if you feel, at least I feel less mentally drained than I have ever done at this time before. So hopefully that's a sign that the team is the same way. I mean, I really haven't felt a real drop off in their energy, their activity. Just those games when we have the short turnaround, it's tough.
Coach, without Wesley playing last week, or you have to watch some tape from a week or two ago just so you can see him play?
No, we know what he can do, and he's going to be back this week. So we'll watch. Nowadays it's easy to watch film, so we'll watch their recent games. Plus, we'll watch We'll watch the game when we played him, so we'll get a real good feel for what he can do. But we know, I mean, he's their leading scorer, and he's going to shoot better at home than they did on the road. So, we've got to make sure we curtail the front court guys. I mean, those guys hurt us last game.
What have been your thoughts on what Keyshawn Howard's been able to do for them this year?
It's hard to tell because this is his first year and it's the coach's first year, so I don't have a real frame of reference. But he's a good player. It's always nice to have a senior come in and be able to run your team, and he was a foul shot away from taking us to double overtime. So.